Today we are going over the contents of the Aetherdrift Living Energy Commander deck, and we'll upgrade it too to make it more competitive. This video is sponsored by Flipside Gaming. Check out flipsidegaming.com for all your gaming needs. Right now you can order Innistrad Remastered, pre-order Aetherdrift, or find a vast number of other great items on their website. Remember, shipping is free in the US if your order is over $100 or consists only of singles. Just look in the description or the comment section below for direct links to their site. Hey there, this is John from Heroes and Legends, and welcome to another one of our Commander Deck Tech videos. This time we're looking at the Aetherdrift Living Energy Commander deck. We're going to see all the contents of that deck, everything you're going to get out of that product, and then we're going to be upgrading that deck, try to make it into something a little more competitive, maybe a little more fun to play. Before we get started, one quick reminder about our Commander series. These videos do go out first to the Hero and Legend tier channel members and to the Gold patrons. Then they do become available to everybody else a couple days later. Also, I do want to take a moment to say thank you to one of our Silver patrons, and that is Joseph. Joseph, thank you so much for all your support on Patreon. It really does go a long way. I know I always say this, but I truly could not do this without viewers like yourself. Thank you for your support, Joseph. And now, without any further ado, let's get into it. Okay, let's begin by looking at the two commanders that come with the deck. The first is the front-facing commander, Cehily Radiant Creator. A green, a blue, a red, and 1 legendary creature human artificer 4/4. Whenever you cast an artificer or artifact spell, you get an energy counter. At the beginning of combat on your turn, you may pay 3 energy. When you do, create a token that's a copy of target permanent you control, except it's a 5/5 artifact creature in addition to its other types and has haste. Sacrifice it at the beginning of the next end step. Our secondary commander is PNLR Chief Mechanic. Green, blue, red, legendary creature human artificer 2/4. Whenever one or more artifact creatures you control deal combat damage to a player, you get 2 energy counters. At the beginning of your end step, you may pay 1 or more energy. If you do, create an XX colorless vehicle artifact token named Nalar Aetherjet with flying and crew 2, where X is the amount of energy spent this way. Basically, what you see is what you get. The deck wants you to accumulate energy for various payoffs, and it wants you to create artifact tokens, usually with flying in order to get damage across. For today's video, we'll say that Cehily is the commander we're using, but honestly, either one would work fine for what we're doing. I'm actually more intrigued by PNLR. There are 8 other brand new cards in the deck, so let's take a look at them first. Territorial Ether Kite. This costs 2 red and a 4. It's a creature, cat dragon, 6/5, flying haste. When this creature enters, you get 2 energy counters. Then you may pay 1 or more energy. When you do, this creature deals that much damage to each other creature. This is fine, it can do some damage and clean up the battlefield, but it feels a little awkward since many of your creatures are going to be smaller tokens. Here are the new green creatures. Nissa World Soul Speaker, a green and 3/3 legendary creature elf druid. Landfall. Whenever a land you control enters, you get 2 energy counters. You may pay 8 energy rather than pay the mana cost for permanent spells you cast. It's a good way to accumulate energy, and it has a solid payoff. Pima Trailblazer, a green and 2/3 creature elephant warrior. Whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, you get that many energy counters. Exhaust. Pay 6 energy, put 2+1/+1 counters on this creature, then draw cards equal to the greatest power among creatures you control. Now this is another good way to get energy. You can only use the exhaust ability once though, but it's still good. And the third card, Rampaging Aetherhood. This is a green and 4/4 creature snake hydra, trample ward 2. At the beginning of your upkeep, you get an amount of energy counters equal to this creature's power. Then you may pay 1 or more energy. If you do, put that many +1/+1 counters on this creature. This is a great way to build energy, and you can grow the creature so it becomes a very large trample threat on the battlefield. Here we have 1 new artifact creature, Stride Hanger Automaton. It costs 3. It's a 1/4 artifact creature construct. Thopters you control get +1/+1. If 1 or more artifact tokens would be created under your control, those tokens plus an additional 1/1 colorless Thopter artifact creature token with flying are created instead. I'll cut to the chase. This is great in the deck. You're going to be producing a lot of tokens, mostly Thopter tokens. The buff to their size is appreciated, and the additional token creation helps you go wide faster. And here's our last 3 new cards. Adaptive Omnitool Artifact Equipment, costs 2 and 3 to equip. Equipped creature gets +1/+1 for each artifact you control. Whenever equipped creature attacks, look at the top 6 cards of your library. You may reveal an artifact card from among them and put it into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. Now this deck isn't all in on artifacts, but there are several, and this does have value. Aetherflux Conduit, this costs 6, it's an artifact. Whenever you cast a spell, you get an amount of energy counters equal to the amount of mana spent to cast that spell. Tap, pay 50 energy, draw 7 cards, you may cast any number of spells from your hand without paying their mana cost. It is another solid way to accumulate energy, and the payoff is nice if you do get there. And finally, Etheric Amplifier, it costs 3, artifact, tap to add 1 mana of any color, pay 4 and tap, choose 1, activate only as a sorcery, double the number of each kind of counter on target permanent, double the number of each kind of counter you have. This is more than just a mana rock, it is quite good. It will allow you to quickly build up your energy. Okay, on to the reprints. There is one Planeswalker, Saheeli Sublime Artificer. It's okay here, it makes tokens, but they aren't Thopters, they're servos. So there's that. I can think of probably a better Planeswalker to put in here. Okay, on to reprinted creatures that help you build energy. In blue, we get Ether Squall Ancient, good way to add energy, and it's a panic button. Then we have Aethertide Whale, decent creature that does provide a nice chunk of energy, and it's persistent. This combo actually comes packed right into the deck, Lightning Runner and Aetherwind Basker. Now you need at least 6 creatures, and these 2 have to stay alive, but if you can pull it off, attacking will result in infinite combat phases. If you have more than 6 creatures, you can also go infinite with energy. Regardless though, these are both good cards even on their own in the deck. Next we have Architect of the Untamed. It is a good combo enabler which we will be utilizing with some of our upgrades. Pima Aetherseer and Servant of the Conduit are 2 fine ways to create energy, and they have payoffs as well. Our last creature in this section is Rogue Refiner. It's a solid card and it gives you a little energy, plus it replaces itself. Now let's take a look at the reprinted creatures that enhance the token creation strategy. In blue we have Psymaster Thopterist and Whirler Rogue. Both make Thopters and give you something to do with them. In red we have Loyal Apprentice, which is awesome for Thopter creation. Pia and Kieran Nillar help with Thopter strategies as well. Reckless Fireweaver does feel a little awkward. I don't like to randomly ping players and draw their attention, but this can be used as a combo piece with some upgrades, more on that later. In green we have Elder Gargaroth. It makes 3/3 beasts, and it's just a solid versatile card overall. Next is Whirler Virtuoso. This is a great energy payoff in the deck since you want to make Thopters. It can also combo off with some upgrades, we'll get to that later though. And our last creature in this category is Triplicate Titan. It's big, it's evasive, when it dies it has a nice payoff, does play well with Saheeli too. And our last 4 creatures are fine utility creatures, Combustible Gear Hulk, Druid of Purification, Ornithopter of Paradise, and Solemn Simulacrum. Alright, on to the instants. Glimmer of Genius is economical and it gives you energy. The other 4 instants give you some protection. Arcane Denial, Disallow, Reality Shift, and Chaos Warp. Now for sorceries, these 2 give you energy. Confiscation Coup is an energy-themed control magic, and Attune with Ether is a fine ramp card. Here's the rest of the sorceries. One with the machine can draw you cards. Chain Reaction is a panic button, but again it feels sort of awkward in this deck. The same is true for Blasphemous Act. And finally we have Explosive Vegetation, which is more ramp. 2 enchantments here. Era of Innovation makes energy and can let you draw, while Thopter Spy Network is an awesome way to keep Thopters coming, and it too can draw you cards. Next let's look at the energy creation artifacts. We have some good ones. Bespoke Battle Wagon makes energy but additionally gives you some payoff options. Aetherworks Marvel is a solid inclusion, as is Decoction Module. There are some combos you can build around this card too. And Solar Transformer is a fantastic mana rock for this build. Here are a couple of artifacts that enhance the token creation aspect of the deck. Bootlegger Stash, and one I really like, Retrofitter Foundry. Midnight Clock is also here and it's always a strong card. And here we have 5 more solid utility artifacts. Conjurer's Closet is very good in the deck with all the enters the battlefield effects that give us energy or tokens. Duplicant is great removal. Lightning Greaves is always useful. Panharmonicon is very strong in the build as well. And Soul Guide Lantern is nice to have on hand in case you need it. Now for the mana rocks. Soul Ring because, well, we're playing Commander. Then they included Arcane Signet, Chromatic Lantern, Commander's Sphere, Cultivator's Caravan, and Talisman of Curiosity. The mana base has some good utility cards like this one, Ether Hub, and this card, Treasure Vault. They included Academy Ruins, and that's a nice reprint for value. When it comes to the mana fixing, it's pretty standard for these precons. We have Evolving Wilds, Frostboil Snarl, Shivan Reef, Sulphur Falls, Temple of Epiphany, Hinterland Harbor, Overflowing Basin, Tanglepool Bridge, Vine Glimmer Snarl, Yavimaya Coast, Carplusion Forest, Rootbound Crag, Sheltered Thicket, Slagwoods Bridge, Frontier Bivouac, Command Tower, Exotic Orchard, Path of Ancestry, and Spire of Industry. Finally, they rounded out the deck with 5 islands, 5 mountains, and 6 forests. So that's the build. Next we're going to talk about upgrades, but first a quick reminder, this video is sponsored by Flipside Gaming. Check out flipsidegaming.com for all your gaming needs. Right now you can order Innistrad Remastered there, pre-order Aetherdrift products, or pick up any number of other great items on their site. Remember, if your order is over $100 or consists only of singles, shipping will be free in the United States. And if you're looking for a direct link to their site, just check out the description or the comment section below. You will find links in both of those places. And now, without any further ado, let's get to the upgrades. Basically, when it comes to upgrades, I wanted to still be able to use either of the commanders, and I just tried to strengthen the energy creation and thopter creation aspects of the deck. I worked in a few combos as well that kept the identity of the deck, but gave us some powerful outs. Now I did try to show some restraint. There's no original duels or Wheel of Fortune in here, but I did select a few expensive cards. As always, use what you have though. I wouldn't break the bank to upgrade a precon. First off, here are the cards I removed simply because I felt we could replace them with stronger options. Combustible Gearhulk, Territorial Aetherkite, Druid of Purification, Elder Gargaroth, Servant of the Conduit, Triplicate Titan, although I could see keeping that one, especially if you're making Saheeli your commander, but I had other stuff I wanted to get in here. Saheeli Sublime Artificer, I did replace this with another Planeswalker like I mentioned earlier. For instance, I took out Arcane Denial, Reality Shift, and Chaos Warp. That one was a little too random for me. For sorceries, I removed One with the Machine, Blasphemous Act, Chain Reaction, and Explosive Vegetation. Again, Blasphemous Act and Chain Reaction just felt awkward when we're trying to go wide. For artifacts, I took out Bootlegger Stash, Chromatic Lantern, Cultivator's Caravan, and Talisman of Curiosity. Then for the lands, I removed Treasure Vault, Frostboil Snarl, Sulphur Falls, Hinterland Harbor, Tanglepool Bridge, Vine Glimmer Snarl, Rootbound Crag, Shelter Thicket, Slagwoods Bridge, and finally I took out 2 islands, 2 mountains, and 1 forest. Now for the fun part, what did I add? First I thought Saheeli Filigree Master was a better planeswalker here. I like that it could create Thopter tokens, and the ultimate is good, plus it's not that hard to get to. Couple blue creatures here. I added Research Thief. It will reward us for attacking with Thopters, while Royal Cartographer is a good way to build energy, plus it can draw you cards. I added these red creatures. Amped Raptor adds value, and I included Motherlode Excavator for the last line more than anything. It can create a situation where a defending player can only block with creatures with flying, which may give us a chance to get across with some of our larger land creatures or our commander. Next I threw in Adrix and Neb Twin Casters to double our token creation. I really wanted to lean in on this aspect, more on that in a moment. For instance, I went with these 3 spells. They all create energy, Tune the Narrative, Galvanic Discharge, and Electro Siphon. As for enchantments, in red I added Aether Revolt. This just makes your energy creation better by allowing you to damage targets when you create energy. Alright, this is where things get a little pricey. Again, you don't have to add all these, but I really wanted to lean into doubling my tokens. Doubling Season, Parallel Lives, and Primal Vigor are all here. Keep in mind though, Doubling Season does not double energy since those counters don't go on a permanent. These cards though are combo enablers too, which we'll discuss in a moment. Aether Refinery now does double your energy creation, and it can make tokens too. Izzet Generatorium enhances energy creation and lets you draw cards at times. These 3 artifacts boost your energy creation in a big way. Gonti's Aetherheart makes energy and has a great payoff. Fabrication Module grows your creatures as you make energy, and it itself can create energy. Stone Idol Generator also creates energy and 612 trample tokens. Okay, now it's peanut butter jelly time. Let's talk about some of the combos that I put into the deck. First we have Gonti's Aetherheart, Decoction Module, and Whirler Virtuoso. This combo gives you unlimited Thopter tokens. Pay 3 energy to make a Thopter, and Gonti's Aetherheart along with Decoction Module give you 3 energy right back when that Thopter token enters the battlefield. Combine that with Reckless Fireweaver, and you win the game if no one can break up the combo. Here's another one, Architect of the Untamed, Gonti's Aetherheart, and 2 of the cards that will double your tokens. Those could be Adrix and Neb Twin Casters, Primal Vigor, or Doubling Season, or Parallel Lives. This combo gives you infinite 6/6 beast tokens. You just need 8 energy to get it started, but once you make a beast token, it will yield 4 copies with the 2 doubling effects, giving you 8 energy back from Gothi's Ether Heart. Okay, here's one more combo. This works like the one we saw earlier, but you do need at least 5 additional creatures to attack with. Attacking with 6 creatures with these 2 cards on the battlefield gets you the 8 energy you would need to get the additional combat phase. If you can keep it going, you would be able to take unlimited attack phases, and if you had an extra creature, you could even yield unlimited energy. Alright, onto the lands. I added Helios 1 to create energy and act as removal. Ancient Tombs here for ramp. I threw in the 2 missing temples, Temple of Abandon and Mystery. Yeah, I did include fetch lands, Misty Rainforest, Scalding Tarn, and Wooded Foothills. Again though, use what you have. Mana bases can get real expensive quickly. I put the Shocklands in here, Breeding Pool, Steam Vent, Stomping Ground, as well as the multiplayer lands, Spire Garden, Rejuvenating Springs, and Training Center. Finally, I added Ketria Triome. So those are the upgrades. I do think the deck could be pretty fun to play. Let me know in the comments below your thought on the deck, out of the box, as well as the upgrades. What do you want to add to upgrade the deck? I always love to hear what other people think to put in. And I'd also be curious to hear which deck you think is better, Eternal Might or Living Energy. I kind of feel like most people are going to say Eternal Might, but there is something fun about this deck, I must say. Until next time though, hey, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please remember to like and subscribe, and have a great day. Hey, thanks for watching. This video is made possible through the generous support of viewers like you on Patreon. Check out the description below for links to our Patreon page, as well as our Amazon affiliate store, where a small percentage of all sales will also help support the channel. Finally, if you haven't had a chance yet to subscribe, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of the new videos on Heroes and Legends. Talk to you again soon, and have a great day.